We can start from topic. Yeah, you can see the topic is in the tail end of the arrow. So there are several types of topics when you want to start writing nonfiction writing. One of which a very popular way to find topics is find the topics from hot issues. Hot issues indicates that because it's hot. So hot issues indicates that everyone is concerned and wants to know more. So the demand is no problem. Therefore, hot topics are of course the topics in demand, but at the same time, they are also difficult to interview. Thousands of articles or hundreds of articles already on the internet. So what kind of additional information can you really provide to your readers? What else is unknown or still unrevealed? If you are determined to do it, you need to exhaust all the known information first and then focus on some other directions. For example, is there another side to the story? What kind of background stories haven't been told? In existing stories, what areas are still puzzling and worth delving into? Where should the camera zoom in for a close-up? Could the ending of one story be the beginning of another one? Imagine how will the people affected by this event proceed in the future? So discovering complexity within strong drama and the challenging established perceptions that people have quickly formed is often the beginning of a good story. Start from hot issue. Another type is to find stories from social trends or social or political trends. For example, we can use some examples to, it's easy to think about. For example, Taiwan is facing aging and a declining birth rate, so which is a long-term trend will affect everyone's life. Many stories will be related to this trend and also relevant to everyone. For example, stories about more and more people needing long-term care, or stories about young people not having children and only raising cats and dogs, which lead to different issues of stories, or even like the earthquake happened in this month, pet rescue in earthquakes becoming a new topic, right? This kind of stories emerge when you observe a structural social trend. At this time, it's easy to find stories that haven't been fully reported but are of great interest to people. The only thing to note is that entering from a social trend means that you have a preliminary judgment on the trend. But remember that this kind of judgments need to be carefully verified in real interviews. Some judgments may not be correct, and if you find problems during interviews, you must adjust flexibly based on reality. Certainly, you can, and also it's the best way I always love that you can just encounter a good story. How to encounter a good story? The best stories emerge from life itself. The best way to encounter these stories is to increase your exposure to the real world. Close your computer, right? Shut down your computer, leave your office, leave your comfort zone, leave the internet, step outside, mingle with unfamiliar crowds, and listen to stories in every nook and cranny. Many good topics I have seen as an editor were stumbled upon by reporters while eating in snack shops, chatting with taxi drivers, or overhearing conversations at train stations or barber shops. Many of my own topics were discovered this way too. Today, many young journalists rely too much on social media to obtain information. However, what social media platforms present to us is a world filtered through very sophisticated algorithms aimed at maximizing their commercial interests, catering to our preference and tastes. So if you shut down your computer, step out into the world, and open your senses and thoughts, you will find that what comes rushing at you are really good stories. Finally, I want to mention that there are always countless interesting, important, reader-worthy, and worth writing stories. And as an author, maybe in continuously practice, you can try to remember and try to remind yourself, identify the intrinsic reasons why each story attracts you. That might be your own theme. That might be, I always called it mother theme. Why does such kind of story repeatedly draw you in? What's the driving force that makes you feel compelled to write? This kind of theme often relates to your own life experiences. For example, some writers are strongly interested in issues of displacement, exile, migrant due to their childhood immigration experiences. Others are keenly focused on topics related to women and motherhood due to their long-term contemplation. So if through many rounds of topic selection exercises, you can gradually find your own theme, you won't just become skilled at storytelling, but your observations and thoughts will also gradually converge towards a certain field and making you an expert in that field.